Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into something truly special: how women show their deepest, most genuine love. Have you ever wondered if the woman in your life truly loves you? Love isn't always about grand gestures or dramatic declarations. More often it's found in the small, everyday things, the quiet ways she expresses her care, devotion and trust. In this video, we'll uncover 9 heartfelt actions that women do when they love from the core of their hearts. Some of these may be things you've never noticed before, but once you do, you'll realize just how powerful they are. So stick around until the end. You won't want to miss these insights. And if you're new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Let's get started. 1. She listens with her heart. A woman who truly loves doesn't just hear your words. She absorbs them, feels them, and stores them away as if each syllable carries a deeper meaning. She listens with her ears and heart, tuning into the unspoken emotions that lace your words. She remembers things that you might have said absent-mindedly, things even you might have forgotten, yet to her, they are tiny treasures that reveal who you are. One day you mention offhandedly that you prefer your coffee without sugar, not expecting anyone to take notice. Yet, weeks later, when she hands you a cup precisely how you like it, you realize she was paying attention all along. It's not just about coffee. It's about how she silently collects details, weaving them into small acts of love. Or maybe you casually mention a childhood memory, a story you hadn't thought about in years. Then, on a special occasion, she surprises you with something that connects to that story, a reminder that she not only heard you, but valued that moment enough to make it part of your present. This kind of listening is rare. It's different from the surface-level nodding that so many engage in, waiting for their turn to speak. When a woman listens with her heart, she is fully present. She notices the shift in your tone when something excites you, the slight hesitation in your voice when something troubles you. She reads between the lines, understanding what you don't say as much as what you do. Such attentiveness cannot be faked. Nor is it something a woman does for just anyone. It signifies deep emotional investment, reflecting how much she values the connection. A woman who listens like this isn't just being polite. She is demonstrating love in its purest form, the kind that exists in the quiet, unspoken gestures, in the remembering, in how she makes you feel indeed seen. 2. She sacrifices silently. A woman in love does not always express it through grand declarations or dramatic gestures. Her passion is often woven into the most minor, unassuming acts, ones so subtle that they might go unnoticed if you are not paying attention. She does not love recognition or applause. She gives because it is her nature to care, nurture, and support the man she cherishes. Her sacrifices are quiet, almost invisible, yet they speak volumes about the depth of her feelings. She stays up late just to send you a simple goodnight text, even when exhaustion weighs heavy on her eyelids and an early morning awaits. She knows you might not even think twice about that message, but to her, it is a way of saying, "You are the last thing on my mind before I sleep." When she sees you stressed about an important day, she makes sure your shirt is ironed, your favorite meal is waiting, or your schedule is clear of distractions. Not because you asked, but because she instinctively wants to lighten your burden. These small, selfless acts are not obligations, but choices made out of genuine care. She listens even when tired, offering encouragement when you doubt yourself. She remembers the details you casually mention, your favorite coffee order, how you like your desk organized. the song that always lifts your mood. And when life gets overwhelming, she stands by your side, quietly offering strength without demanding anything in return. Her love is not loud, not demanding. It is patient, steady and unwavering, like the tide that comes in without fail, expecting nothing but to be there when you need it most. However, the most remarkable thing about a woman's silent sacrifices is that she does not see them as sacrifices. To her, love is not about keeping score or waiting for reciprocation. It is about making your life easier, warmer, and better, simply because she loves you. And that kind of love that exists in the unnoticed moments is the love that truly lasts. 3. She shows tenderness. When expressed by a woman, love often reveals itself in the quietest moments, through actions so subtle yet deeply significant that they speak louder than any words ever could. A woman in love doesn't always declare her feelings outright. She conveys them through small, tender gestures, reflecting her care, warmth, and quiet devotion. These are the moments that a man may overlook if he does not understand the unspoken language of a woman's affection. It is not just a casual touch when she gently strokes his hair after a long, exhausting day. It is her way of offering comfort, of silently acknowledging his struggles without pressing him for explanations. She understands that words are sometimes unnecessary, and that her presence alone is enough to ease his burdens. In these delicate touches, she reassures him. She is there, sees him, and cares. In a crowded place, when she instinctively reaches for his hand, intertwining her fingers with his, it is more than a casual habit. It is an unconscious act of claiming and protecting, a silent way of telling him, "You're safe with me." She doesn't do it because she needs security, but wants to offer it. When a woman is truly in love, she does not need grand gestures to prove her devotion. It is the way she subtly adjusts his collar before he steps out, the way she saves the last bite of her favorite dessert for him, the way she listens intently even when he speaks of things that do not particularly interest her. Each act, however small, is an offering of her love. A man who recognizes these gestures understands that love is not always about passionate confessions or dramatic displays of emotion. It is in the quiet sacrifices, the unnoticed acts of care, and the everyday moments when she chooses to prioritize his comfort and happiness over her own. A woman who truly loves a man does not love with words alone. She loves with her presence, her patience, and the soft, effortless ways she weaves herself into his life. And once a man understands this, he will begin to see love in everything she does, not just in what she says. 4. She protects you in her way. A woman may not express her love through grand gestures or physical strength, but when she truly cares for a man, she protects him in ways that are just as powerful. Her protection is quiet, woven into the small, everyday moments that reveal her deep concern. She reminds him to bring a jacket when the weather turns cold, even if he insists he'll be fine. She notices when he looks tired and tells him to get some rest, even when he brushes it off. She remembers his favorite meal and ensures he eats appropriately when he's too busy to consider his well-being. These gestures may seem simple, but they carry a profound message. She sees him, values him, and wants to care for him as she knows how. Women are naturally attuned to the well-being of those they love. Their instinct to nurture comes through how they pay attention to details men often overlook. A woman who cares gently pushes a man to prioritize his health, reminding him to schedule that long overdue checkup, or encouraging him to take a break when she senses he's overworked. She might slip a water bottle into his bag before he leaves the house, knowing he'll forget to stay hydrated. She doesn't do these things for praise or recognition. She does them because his well-being matters to her. After all, love in its most accurate form is expressed in action, not just words. A woman's protection is also emotional. She senses when something is weighing on his mind, even if he doesn't say a word. She gives him space when he needs it, but stays close enough so that he knows he's not alone. She offers quiet reassurance in listening and encouraging him without trying to fix his problems. When the world is harsh, she becomes his soft place to land, reminding him of his worth when doubts creep in. Her presence is a shield, not in how a warrior wields a sword, but in how a steady flame offers warmth on a cold night. A man who recognizes these acts for what they are, expressions of deep affection, understands the quiet strength of a woman's love. He doesn't dismiss her reminders or brush off her concern as nagging. Instead, he appreciates that she chooses to look out for him in a world where people often look only for themselves. This form of protection cannot be measured in strength or power, yet it holds more weight than any grand display. It is love in its purest, most selfless form, and truly rare and invaluable. 5. She trusts you unconditionally. When a woman truly loves a man, her trust in him becomes an unshakable foundation of their relationship. It is not a trust born from blind optimism or naivety, but a deep belief in his character. She sees him for who he truly is, his strengths, struggles, and aspirations, and places her faith in him even in uncertain circumstances. This kind of trust is rare and powerful because it is not contingent on his success, perfection, or ability always to control everything. Instead, it is rooted in her certainty that he is a man of integrity who will always act honestly and respectfully. She does not waver in her belief in him when he faces setbacks, whether in his career or personal life. She does not question his worth or make him feel he is failing her. Instead, she stands beside him, offering encouragement without pressure, support without suffocation. She understands that his journey is not always linear, that struggles are a natural part of growth, and that her role is not to fix him, but to remind him of his strength when he forgets. She does not need constant reassurance, because her trust is not fragile. It is built on the knowledge that he is a man who will rise again, no matter how many times he falls. A woman who trusts unconditionally does not need to monitor his every move, check his phone, or seek constant validation of his loyalty. She does not operate from a place of fear because she knows trust is not about control, but security. If a woman feels secure in her love with a man, she does not waste energy on suspicion or doubt. She does not play games to test his devotion or let past wounds dictate her present relationship. Instead, she believes in their bond, allowing him the space to be himself without fear of unnecessary judgment. This kind of trust creates a rare freedom within a relationship. It allows a man to move through life without the weight of constant scrutiny, knowing that he has a partner who believes in him wholeheartedly. It pushes him to be a better man, not because he fears losing her, but because he does not want to disappoint the woman who sees the best in him. A woman's trust reflects her love, and when given entirely, it becomes one of the greatest gifts she can offer. It is not quickly earned, nor should it be taken for granted. But when a man receives it, he understands that he holds something precious, something that, if protected and cherished, will remain unbreakable through the tests of time. 6. She shares even the smallest things. When a woman genuinely cares about a man, she wants to bring him into the most minor details of her life. It's not always through grand gestures or passionate declarations, Often, it's in the little things she chooses to share. A random picture of a flower she spotted on her morning walk, a story about something amusing that happened at work, or a song she heard that reminded her of him. These moments, seemingly insignificant on the surface, carry a deeper meaning. They are an invitation, a subtle way of saying, "I want you to be part of my world." Women don't just share for conversation, they do so to create a connection. When she texts about her day, even the mundane parts of it, she's not doing it because the details themselves matter. She's doing it because he matters. It's a way of maintaining closeness, of weaving him into the fabric of her daily life. A woman who doesn't feel strongly about a man won't make this effort. She may still engage in conversation, but she won't go out of her way to update him on the small, personal moments that have no real significance to anyone else. This kind of sharing is also a sign of emotional comfort. When a woman trusts a man, she doesn't filter herself as much. She feels free to express the little joys, frustrations, and random thoughts that cross her mind. She doesn't need to be entertaining or impressive. She just wants to let him in. It's an unspoken test of emotional closeness. A man who dismisses these moments as trivial or unimportant risks making her feel unseen. But a man who acknowledges them, who understands their quiet significance, reinforces the bond she is trying to build. It's not about responding to every message with deep analysis or grand replies. Sometimes it takes a simple, thoughtful acknowledgement. A playful comment, a shared enthusiasm, or a quick, genuine response can mean everything. It tells her that what she shares is valued and that her world, no matter how small or ordinary, is something he wants to be a part of. Over time, these little exchanges accumulate, forming an unshakable foundation of intimacy. A relationship isn't just built on big moments. It's the everyday interactions, the minor details, and the willingness to share life's simple pleasures that truly define a connection. A woman who shares even the most minor things isn't just making conversation. She's showing her heart, piece by piece, hoping he sees and appreciates what she's offering. 7. She is patient with you. A woman's patience is one of the strongest indicators of her love for a man. When a woman truly cares, she doesn't see imperfections as deal breakers, but as part of the journey. She understands that no one is perfect and that relationships are built through moments of joy and hardship alike. A woman genuinely invested in a man doesn't disappear at the first sign of trouble. She stays, she listens, and she gives space for growth. When life weighs heavily on a man, testing his patience and composure, the woman who loves him will not add to the storm. Instead, she will be the calm in his chaos, the steady presence that reminds him he is not alone. She does not react to his frustration with her frustration. She does not turn away when he is distant or overwhelmed. Instead, she remains, offering quiet support, knowing that her presence speaks volumes even in silence. Patience is also evident in the way she handles mistakes. No man is flawless, and misunderstandings and missteps are inevitable in any relationship. However, a woman who truly values her partner will not rush to judge or condemn. She gives him the space to correct his errors, to prove through actions, not just words, that he is willing to do better. She does not hold past mistakes over his head like a weapon. Instead, she moves forward, believing in the man he is becoming, rather than punishing him for the man he once was. This patience, however, is not to be confused with blind tolerance. A strong woman does not endure mistreatment or settle for less than she deserves. Her patience is a gift, not a weakness. She waits because she sees potential. She forgives because she believes in growth. but she will not wait forever for a man who refuses to rise to the occasion. A patient woman will support, but she will not enable. She will stand by a man who stumbles, but will not remain with one who refuses to stand up. The presence of a patient woman in a man's life is a rare and invaluable treasure. She is the one who stays when things are hard, who trusts in his ability to navigate his struggles, and who believes in his capacity to improve. She is the woman who doesn't demand perfection, but appreciates effort, who doesn't need grand gestures but cherishes consistency. Above all, she is the woman who knows that love is not about finding someone flawless, but about choosing someone again and again through all of life's ups and downs. 8. She makes you feel like you are enough. A woman who truly loves a man doesn't measure him against unrealistic standards or constantly remind him of his shortcomings. She sees him as he is, with all his imperfections, and still chooses him wholeheartedly. In a world where men often feel pressured to be more successful, charismatic, and influential, a woman who makes a man feel like he is enough offers something rare and invaluable. Her love isn't conditional on his achievements or ability to impress. It stems from an appreciation of his essence, presence, and the way he exists in her life. A man can sense when a woman's love is genuine. She doesn't place her happiness solely on his shoulders, nor demand that he become someone he's not to earn her affection. Instead, she brings a sense of acceptance that allows him to breathe and exist without fearing judgment. Looking at him, she doesn't see what's missing. She sees what's already there and finds it worthy. This kind of love gives a man confidence, not because he has to fight for it, but because it is given freely, without expectation of constant proof. She doesn't compare him to other men, subtly hinting at how he should be different. She doesn't hold up images of success, whispering that he must reach them to be valued. She acknowledges his flaws, but doesn't make them the center of their relationship. Instead, she appreciates his efforts, respects his journey, and stands beside him without trying to mold him into an idealized version of a partner. This doesn't mean she overlooks his growth. She supports it without making him feel like he's perpetually inadequate. When a man is loved this way, he feels an internal shift. He no longer operates from a place of performance or fear, constantly striving to meet expectations that never seem to settle. Instead, he begins to trust that he is worthy, that who he is at his core is enough. And when a man feels that kind of security in a relationship, he thrives. He doesn't retreat into himself or feel the need to prove his value through material success or external validation. He confidently steps into his role, knowing he is not being judged but embraced. A woman's love can build or break a man's spirit. The right woman nurtures his confidence without inflating his ego, offers support without making him dependent, and loves him in a way that makes him stand taller, not shrink in self-doubt. When a man finds a woman who makes him feel like he is enough, he doesn't just cherish her, he rises to meet her love with the best of himself. 9. She puts her heart into every moment. There is a distinct warmth in how a woman, indeed in love, engages with the man she cherishes. It is not loud or demanding, not built on grand gestures or dramatic declarations. It is in the quiet details. The way her eyes soften when they meet his. The way she listens, not just to respond, but to understand. Her affection is not a performance, it is woven into the very fabric of her presence. She puts her heart into every shared moment, infusing even the most ordinary instances with a depth of emotion that makes them unforgettable. A woman in love does not need extravagant settings to express her feelings. A simple glance across a room holds the same intensity as the most extended love letter. Her gaze lingers when she looks at him, not as an obligation, but as an instinct, as if her heart finds its home in that moment. There is an undeniable sincerity in the way she smiles, not just out of politeness, but because being with him brings her joy. When she holds him, she doesn't just embrace, she melts into him, allowing the moment to speak in ways words never could. Love, when accurate, is not something she only expresses in grand romantic gestures. It is in the little things. How she remembers his favorite coffee order, how she subtly adjusts his collar before they step out, how she laughs at his jokes, not out of courtesy, but because she genuinely enjoys his presence. She does not create happiness through forced effort. She simply finds ways to make even the smallest moments meaningful. If they are watching a movie together, she instinctively leans closer. If they are walking side by side, she reaches for his hand, not because she needs to, but because it feels natural. When a woman gives her heart, it is never in halves. She does not ration her affection or make him earn it through tests or games. She loves with a quiet certainty, allowing her emotions to flow effortlessly. Her care is not a strategy, but reflects her identity when she feels safe, cherished, and seen. When a man recognizes this and understands that love is not just about being desired, but deeply valued, he realizes that her silent gestures speak louder than any words ever could. Love isn't just spoken, it's shown through the little things, the moments of care, trust, and unwavering support. When a woman truly loves, her actions speak louder than words. She listens with her heart, stands by your side through challenges, and makes you feel valued just as you are. These 9 signs aren't about grand gestures. They are the everyday expressions of love that come straight from the heart. If you've noticed these signs in someone special, cherish them, because true love is rare and precious. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you experienced these moments of genuine love? Share your story in the comments below. And if you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more content on love, relationships, and personal growth. See you in the next one.